Hello Skele Vaderites and friends of Skele Vader. So now a little update on what I'm doing with Snake Mountain. So what I've done is I've added spray foam to particular areas, especially around and in between the cracks of the stairs so that I can carve away at that. So I'm still doing spray foam and carving. I'm really trying to spend a lot of time and get some particular details ironed out on this before I start putting plaster cloth around the rock faces and then applying the plaster itself. Then I'm going to prime it, and then I'm going to finish doing the snake head, and I'm going to do the wolf head, and then it's time to start painting. I'm getting closer. It's at this stage where I start doing the intricate sculpting. It takes a little bit more time. So I'm going to be sculpting the table with the all-seeing sphere and also the bone throne. So a lot of cool things coming up here. But let's continue working on this. I'm going to let this foam dry, and then I'm going to carve away at it. All right, Skele Vaderites. So to close out this week's video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my technique. This is something I've developed over the last few builds. So it begins with, this particular part of my technique begins with the plaster cloth. So my system here, and I'm really excited to share this with you all because it works quite well. My system is to coat the foam. Usually I'm more concerned about the raw foam. So the foam that shows exposed areas, not the foam that has this sort of skin on it as it dries, but the foam that I've carved away at primarily. So really I use a lot of that here. I use a lot of it with the stairs and some elements by the spires. So snake body, stairs, and the demon face as well, which I'll get to later. But what I do is I coat the surface of the raw foam with Mod Podge matte finish. It's this stuff here. And then that's when I start to dip the cloth in the water, the plaster cloth, and then lay it on in pieces. what I also do later on, I'll show you this later, once I start to put the plaster on over the cloth, is I add a little Mod Podge to the plaster mixture. So I'm going to be adding plaster to the walls, and definitely around this area I'll be adding in the plaster itself, the plaster Paris, and I always add a little bit of Mod Podge in with that water as well. So mixing Mod Podge in with the water that you're using, coating the raw foam with Mod Podge, adds to the solidity of the plaster itself. So this is nice solid plaster and makes it more sturdy. So these displays are they're great to look at, but then you can also play with your action figures on it, not just for display, also for play. So thank you all so much for watching. I want to say a huge thank you to the patrons of this channel. If you're interested in becoming a Patreon, the link is right down below. And I also want to thank everybody that tunes in on Thursday nights to watch The Frenzy, formerly known as Toy Frenzy. We've got another show coming up this Thursday night. And I just want to thank every single one of you that tunes in and watches this channel. I really appreciate you tuning in. Do the YouTube thing, click like and subscribe, and tell your friends about the Skele Vader channel. And I'll see you in the next video.